Cool. And welcome to the Rondo.
Bombao.
We're a little bit tired today. Rondo family.
Someone ain't got the stamina,
even my voice. No, I ain't got stamina, you know.
And welcome to the Rondo.
Man like. Yeah, just off the back of a kickabout. Hopefully the pod goes better than the kickabout. I can't lie. But the guys are just warming up. We're just warming up. But okay. How do we start this thing again?
So I'm joined today by my co-host AA, Trey, and JG13 Jalen. I am Marcus, and we have Cash Kiko on the show as well today. Leshon, special guest appearance.
Might be hitting, man.
Squeezing that one. Yeah, Keeks is just coming to the building as well. So boom bang. So and we're gonna have to race through it. So this week is the Rondo Awards. So we're gonna go over the season. We're gonna pick our manager of the season, our player of the season, and the young player of the season. We're gonna do a spotlight on the manager of the season because we feel like we might know who that may just be, and then we'll do some Rondo or nots, and then that's it for today. I can't lie. So yeah, boom bang. So we'll start off with
bang.
So who is your manager of the season? Please, write down on the whiteboards in front of you. Kiko, you might have to get one, or you can share. One of the pens on that. So yeah, Keeks, Banks coming through.
Oh right,
my guy. My guy, man. Guy's catching the board like how he was playing football today.
AA dropped a stinker today.
You were 2 out of 10 as well, so I'm not happy. Bro, you were awful.
I wasn't, bro.
There was no.
We're not talking about the session.
I carried, bro.
No.
We are not talking about the session today.
Rondo fans, there's nobody who was above a 4 out of 10. You know when you see bare oranges?
Not even, bro.
No.
We went down and we pulled it back. True captain's performance. It gave me shades of Istanbul, as you said.
Anyway, okay, guys, we're focusing on Prem football. Cool. Okay, has everyone written down this?
I'm trying to think.
What? Just one name, yeah?
Yeah.
One name, yeah.
Why'd you write that?
It's a whiteboard, man. All right, cool. Who wants to go first?
I feel like we're all gonna say the
Everyone
We're
knows
gonna
it.
say the same thing, innit?
We're gonna say who? All right, who's everyone got? Everyone got Pep Guardiola. Yeah. That ball bastard. Yeah.
Whoa.
Right. Okay. Someone different. In brackets, I've got Dezabi just for a little shout out, but we know it's Pep. All right. Trey, talk to me. Why is it Eddie Howe?
Pep's the easy one, man. Like we know what we expect of him. He's done this twice already. Obviously, it's a three-peat, so it's a 6th season for him. We've seen that and I'm guessing you man will go into the tactical side of things there.
Yeah.
I just think I like what Newcastle have done. I think I'm more impressed with Eddie Howe. I think we've seen him manage teams before.
So you're more impressed with Eddie Howe than a three-peat and a potential treble-winning season?
Yeah. At the moment, yeah. He's not done the treble. Right?
Okay, so he's not going to treble it. Okay, good little edit there. Okay,
right now.
All right, so talk to me. Why? What has Eddie Howe done, which is so impressive?
I think it's for me. It was more the mentality of what he's installed at Newcastle. I think we've seen him with Prem teams before, and he's done all right. He's implemented little things there, and he's got them to a nice little 10th, 14th position. Yeah. I didn't think he would have been the man that could have taken Newcastle to where they are now.
Oh, I see.
I thought in terms of...
You thought he was the Mark Hughes. Yeah.
Exactly. Get them to like a nice little 8th, 9th. They've done the push. Then when the money comes through properly and they can start, buying players and so forth, then that's when they'll bring in someone else that can then take them through to that next level. So I'm really impressed with him, what he's done. I think he deserves another year there. Okay.
Do you think he can be the manager to take Newcastle to potentially be title challengers, challenge in Europe, kind of be, become sort of a European giant like City have basically become?
I think he definitely deserves another season.
Okay.
I think it'll be interesting to see how he does, firstly in Champions League and Prem, managing that, and then also the squad that he builds for next season as well. I think that will show a lot about his mentality, where he sees himself, where he sees the team going, and kind of like what he wants to bring in. I think when you look at this current Newcastle side, it's a good Prem side. Mm-hmm. How will they fare in terms of squad depth in Champions League, and then in terms of the quality that they actually have for a Prem winning campaign. Do they have that at the moment? Nah. So then I want to look at the transfers, the kind of different players they bring in, and see how they perform.
Okay, fair play. Jalen, you were.
So I'll just address what he said about Eddie Howe. The reason I wouldn't have Eddie Howe up there is because even if you look at last season, to the tail end of last season or the second half of the season, you could see what was happening with Newcastle. I think they were about 3rd or 4th on the form table from about January to the end of the season. So given that Chelsea and Liverpool kind of dropped off this season, it should be pretty much expected for Newcastle with the team that they had.
No, I don't say expected.
I don't think
Expected. No, given the Chelsea and Liverpool drop off, it's expected.
If Newcastle came 5th, would he even be under criticism?
No, he wouldn't. But it's not.
So is it expected, bro?
It's not an overachievement.
Theo said that like he's waiting for them to start spending money, but they've been spending money, bro.
Yeah, they have been
bought in
spending
Trippier, they bought in Botman, spent 70 million odd on Isaac. They bought Bruno G. Like that's a whole spine of players.
No, there was definitely an opening in the top 4, and I still feel like I partially agree with Marcus, but I think those form tables, it's another thing to take that into a season, then have like 10 games of form and be 3rd in that position. I think it's another thing to start the season and actually go ahead and come 3rd. I do feel like there has been an opening for them, but even with the opening, I think if Newcastle came 6th this season, I think Eddie Howe keeps his job. So I still think he's definitely overachieved.
And, then, and even with that, like you still actually have to win the games. Like even though the opening's there, you still have to be proactive, take the wins, and be in that spot.
I personally wouldn't give it to Eddie Howe simply just because I think for whatever reason that you would use for his success or him being the best, like Brighton's is better to me, innit? I think Brighton finishing, where are they going to finish? 6th now, I think? Europa League, right?
They won today, 6th,
Yeah, so if they finish 6th, like, why is their achievement not better than Newcastle finishing in 3rd? Considering like where they both started the season and how they finished last season.
Yeah, I think Brighton are more impressive than Newcastle.
Brighton finished above Newcastle.
Yeah, but how they ended the season though. As you said, Newcastle were 3rd, 4th in the table. Like if you look at the second half of last season.
Finances as well.
Very true.
Finances, players, did they lose? They lost players in the summer as well, right?
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I just feel like whatever reason that you can use for Newcastle, I just feel like Brighton's is more impressive overall.
What impresses you about De Zerbi?
Just the tactical level that he's brought, like
sensational,
to the point where even Pep is saying that they have the best build up in the world. That's not a small compliment. That is not a small compliment. And you look at like the quality of players that he started with and what he inherited from Potter and how he's taken them to another level even on top of that.
Brought in a lot of new talent as well. Like when I say brought in, I don't mean that he signed them, but like he's brought through a lot of
he's making guys look like ridiculous players in that system. You know what I'm saying? So I think the performance at Arsenal as well, obviously it's very recent, but to actually go to a supposedly title challenging side and do that to them, to me it just shows how far they've come. I don't think Newcastle could do that to us personally. I don't think they're capable of a performance like that away from home against a top side. That's
maybe you as you are now, but no, I hear it.
I don't think not to the point of domination the way that they done it in that second half.
I feel like the level of tactical ability that De Zerbi showed in that game was mad. The way that they were drawing Arsenal in with the intricate build up and then going long to get Matoma and who's the lad? Enciso, you kind of 1v1 with their players
and took them to semi-final as well, to be fair.
Oh, it's FA Cup semi-final as well. I think the level of
Howe got to a final as well, so it's like a bit like
fair enough.
Who got to a final?
Eddie Howe.
Oh, he did actually. But I feel like the level of De Zerbi's tactics that I've seen this season is above what I've seen from Eddie Howe. Even though Eddie Howe's been very good though.
De Zerbi's definitely a better tactical manager than Eddie Howe, but
it's just nice.
Management is not just about
of course it's not.
I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think that's a good place to kind of take us on to
it's nicer football. But even tactically though, I just feel like to have those Brighton Cropper players and go to the Emirates and in that second half, I feel like the first half was fairly even, but in that second half actually bop Arsenal. Oh, the levels of that is really quite something.
Yeah, no, I agree still. But as I said, I feel like you touched on a point there where you said it's not always just about the tactical side of the game or just the aesthetics.
Yep.
I think, as I said, that leads us quite nicely onto Pep because I think he's shown us kind of a different side of him this year.
Yeah.
Where in the past, Pep has always been known for, having the best plan A. This year,
Show the board. Tell us why it's Pep Guardiola.
I rubbed it out, bro. but yeah, as I said, this year I think he's proved that he can problem solve and come up with a plan B that no one really expects.
He stepped up to another level this year.
Yeah, completely
That's
different. This is a
Theo.
demonstration of problem solving, bro, for managers and in-game tactics. Like, no one else to me in the Premier League has showed this level, in my opinion, to the point where the team can literally play in maybe like 3 or 4 different ways and still be better than the opposition comfortably.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, in game, he can switch it from, like, when he's playing the double pivot and roaming centre back, he can switch that to now just playing long. And suddenly Haaland and De Bruyne are running at you. Like, having all of those weapons in your arsenal, you have to tinker to get that. You didn't just come up with it. You had to tinker, and he found it.
Yeah.
You look at when he first started it, Bernardo was playing left back. Like, that's how he started. Then started tinkering around, but eventually found the right formula. Yeah. And I think that's the most impressive thing that I've seen from a manager this season.
He's proper, put the work in to come with a number of different solutions that make City really quite a formidable Arsenal.
You got to dissect the solutions he's come up with as well. Like, at the beginning of the season, I'd say for like the first half of the season, there was all this discourse like, like Man City aren't getting the best out of Haaland. Yeah. And then he solved that problem. Then he had the problem with Cancelo at left back. He's brought in Ake, and they've even looked more defensively secure than what he's done with John Stones, and like having the boldness to be like, no, Kyle Walker, you're not playing in these certain games because you can't execute this system. And just the way that even like have put him De Bruyne, like he was playing De Bruyne in kind of like odd positions at times, and then he's brought him back into like kind of like a number 10 position. Obviously they play with like 2 in front of Rodri, but yeah, some of the problems.
And do you know what I'd say as well that's underrated is his ability to actually rotate the squad and keep everyone happy and keep them motivated.
He kind of keeps everyone happy.
No, but in reality, he's given everyone Cancelo, he's gonna have that problem anyway. He's having problems at Bayern.
But he's also smart enough to realize that anyone who's going to be like that is going to affect the squad adversely. So get rid of them as soon as you can.
No, Pep is literally like, what, you got a problem? The door's there.
But being able to actually rotate the squad and have trust in the whole squad, obviously it's partly due to the base level of the squad, but also just to make sure that everyone gets an opportunity, and has enough minutes so that when they are called upon, they're ready. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But what I would say is, in the past, I feel like Pep has tried to do this experimental thing, but he always does it in the times where he has
doesn't need to.
just randomly. At least this season, he done it early on the season. He found his formula. He found the answers first, so that when he, like the game against Real Madrid, when he brings a Roman centre back with John Stones, John Stones has done that how many times this season? He's used to it. He can do it. So it's clear he had a plan from the beginning. He worked out all the little kinks. Now they're a formidable team. Like,
so do you guys think that this is his best year of management in terms of just what he's shown?
Yes, 100%.
What
his best year of managing?
Best year of management
in terms of like the level that he's shown.
Not in terms of
for Man City.
What in
his whole career.
No. What he did with that Barcelona team is.
You think the Barcelona was better than this?
Yes.
Okay, let me
changed football.
Let me address something.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let me address something. The Barcelona team was better, yes, but Pep's management this season was better.
I'm not sure.
Pep as a manager, I think, is better now than any other.
I feel like there was other elements to how he formulated that Barca team, though. The way in which he kind of took Pedro out of the academy, he took Piqué back, who kind of lost his way at United. Who else did he promote from the academy as well? A couple of really good buys and completely transformed Messi, Iniesta, Xavi. I just felt like it was just...
That was 2010. That wasn't really 2011, was it?
What?
Are you talking about his whole career?
No, but if we're talking picking seasons, he brought those players in and in 2010,
in 2011. I feel like
that's
it
when
all
he won
accumulated to that second Champions League final they had against United. I feel like they were at their peak.
But it's like, again, we're looking at a plan A that was obviously off the charts. Obviously you have to be very talented to put that plan A together. But let's not act like that Barcelona team didn't have weaknesses, like defensively, for example. There just wasn't really teams that could capitalize on that.
Yeah, but you weren't really able to
I know, but my point is, but if you look at like the players in both sides, like people have tried to compare that Barcelona side to this Man City side.
They lost to a Di Matteo's Chelsea, so
that Barcelona side, the personnel to me is already like a level above this team.
They also won 6 cups in a year.
Win some, you lose some, bro.
Yeah, so
I just think the ability.
Conte, though, no?
Yeah,
I just think if we took that Pep and put him with this Man City side, I don't think he'd be able to get what he got out of City this season.
100%.
He's evolved as a manager. He's been able
100%.
to actually say to himself, you know what, rather than me sticking to what, you know, my plan A is and hoping that wins the game, he's being proactive this season, actually come up with solutions before it's become a problem.
I hear you, but I feel like because the end produce of that season was the best club team we've ever seen.
But this season he can win a treble. Like
Yeah. I mean,
They won 6 trophies though.
If you don't,
they won 6 trophies because they had we don't count community shield. They count their version of the community shield, and then they had what's it called, Club World Cup, and bro, like
this City team can be close. But
I think you got to take away, like, obviously the personnel is important. Don't get it twisted. He assembled that side, but if you actually look at the personnel in that Barcelona team, I think it's still a level above this Man City side. So naturally, that plan A was most of the time.
It's true. The management is more mature, but then you just have to deep that City are dirty financial doping club.
come on.
So realistically, you can't really give Pep that much credit. So everything that we're saying,
you say that. No. In fact, let me ask you. Let me ask you.
Asterisk.
Let me ask you though, because the reality is, is that
As an asterisk,
you could give an open check.
As an asterisk, you are financial doping.
Listen.
Cheat.
You could give an open checkbook, to a lot of different managers, and they're not gonna get close to what
Chelsea basically had an open checkbook. United have an open checkbook.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Like when we're judging manager of the season, I don't care about financial
cheated, though. There's still an asterisk next to these awards, and I can't wait. I want City to be deducted 30 points.
No, but do you know what's mad about what Pep's done this season is that, like, his so-called biggest rival in this like new Premier League era had to go and copy his tactics, like to make your rival do that. Like that just speaks volumes.
Klopp,
It's easier when you cheat, innit? But first, he's a cheat.
It's got nothing to do with the manager.
He's a cheat. He's a cheat.
What?
Klopp has got all those players on that have asthma.
Ain't nothing been proven.
Same with City.
They ain't gone down.
What do you mean same with City?
They haven't gone down.
They've been charged.
Yeah,
They've been charged. No, their thing's facts, bro. They've been charged.
They haven't
Just because you've been charged doesn't mean it's proven, you know.
Nah, their thing. All of the doping stuff. No. It's not.
That's a slippery slope. Oh no, don't do that.
Let's be real here. City definitely financially have been very dubious. Let's not be silly. You can't compare it to this.
I think
to this asthma pump. Kind of theory that you might have.
I feel like we saved that for another day because I got a lot to say on that particular point.
Yeah, but they financially doped. They cheated. You can't just brush over that.
I mean,
and they need to be deducted.
to.
They need to be. Obviously, he'll probably get away with it this season, and he'll get his treble. But going forward, City
You
needs.
genuinely believe that, or are you just saying it because you're jealous?
No, they have 115 counts.
There's definitely jealousy inside there.
No, there's jealousy
Because his
there.
team doesn't have to.
No, there's jealousy. No, there's jealousy
That's
there.
the problem.
I'm not going to deny that, but it's facts that they've cheated. There's 115 counts of financial doping.
How does that affect what you see on the pitch?
What do you mean? Because he's got these players.
It's not about the personnel. We're talking about
as
the
Jalen
manager.
said, many clubs can have the money to spend
obviously,
this way.
and credit to him. But
So-
he got. Yeah,
so
but he
he's
should.
actually, we're talking about the best manager of the season. Whatever the finances of Man City have been in the past or in the recent history does not affect what we see. Pep
Yeah, it is
produce.
because that's how he got the players. He got the players through illegal means.
Oh, right.
It's facts. It's
Wrap it
facts.
up, wrap it up.
He'll have this.
Wrap it up, wrap
He'll
it up.
have this. He'll have this. Yeah, but he needs to be deducted like 30 points.
Wrap it up, man.
Yeah, no, I won't because there's a man with a Man City badge who doesn't support them here. So you know.
That's nasty.
Right. So you know that we don't really have a very fair board right here now.
I'm trying to look for something, but I can't.
I'm wearing my team.
Yeah,
I'm wearing my team.
We got that for you.
I'm wearing my
We
team.
got that for you.
I'm wearing my team. I'm wearing my team. Raf got it for me, man. Anyway, all right. Player of the season. I don't want to put this guy down, man. This just the financial doping awards. Also, when you ask, please show your board, man. That's Rondo merchandise money.
I know Denzel was about to put down something bare dumb.
Bro, he's writing bare letters. Alright, but see this one, yeah? Are we doing it on like a kind of MVP type thing, or just the best player in the Prem? Do you get it?
I like that. If you're a more valuable player to your team.
Brush that.
Okay, cool. So nice.
Say NBA, man. You don't get what's that? There's no point, man.
So dead though.
Just it's like
I get it,
boring,
but
man, but it's like
It's just boring, isn't it? Like, we'll do this one quickly because he probably wins YPFA as well.
Yeah.
you can't say like there's no argument against it.
Yeah. All right, guy. All right. Who wants to go? Everyone's got Haaland. Yeah, I mean, I'll go. I'll give them their credit in it. Fair. You know what? I think Haaland is obviously the obvious choice. I mean, he's coming. I mean, I've never seen a debut season like this in Premier League history. I feel like even like across leagues, crazy. He's come into the league, broken the goals record even for men that were playing more games than him. 36 goals and counting. He's even getting rotated now. And yeah, he's just been an absolute goal machine. He's managed to adapt to City's play a lot quicker than a lot of us thought. You know, when City are kind of doing their...
There's a lot of us. It was you, fam.
No, as well. A couple of you, man. Thought he might take a little bit of a while. Jalen showed some surprise. I mean, that was obviously the most...
Jalen showed what?
You showed some surprise to how quick Haaland has adapted. Everyone did. Everyone in the chat has said they didn't expect Haaland to...
You said Nunes would adapt quicker than him.
Yeah, I did say that.
That's what you said.
I got a question to pose.
I did say that. That was a howler.
I saw it online. I got a question, yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
Harry Kane has scored 28 goals this season in a very dead Tottenham squad, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that better than scoring 36 goals for
We
Man
don't
City?
care, man.
You know,
Win things in life.
you know.
That's what I was trying to say,
yeah.
the MVP thing. innit?
The only
I was
thing
trying
is
to-
with Kane, yeah, he's been at Spurs 8 years. Man was giving you the contingency arguments back then when it was a little bit more cute because I thought, yeah, you're gonna go on and then we'll see. My guy, you're 29 with like 4 youths and you're still there.
Bro, why you bringing man's youths into this, bro?
I'm saying he's a big man. He's a big man for the family, and he's still there. We saw Kane 21, young boy, come through at Spurs, and we thought couple years, and then he go join United and actually become
the thing is,
a proper.
Does Kane score more goals at City than Haaland this season?
not more. I think
know.
it'd be similar, but he contribute
Remember-
more outside of that.
Yeah, he would.
I mean, but then again, you know, you
That
say
makes him a
that,
better
but
player, no?
no, but hold on, but
More stuff.
do you think
I feel like that's easy to say. Even Aguero never got more than like 25 goals. at City.
plan B though that we're talking about that City have now is mainly due to the fact Haaland's playing. So I think we have to factor that in as well. I know I said Kane would do more outside of it, but actually, if you're looking at it, even just what Haaland brings as a threat and a presence in the box and in behind, to me, that's superior to
Gives
what
City
Kane.
a lot, yeah.
You know, and I think that's made them more of a threat this year, more versatile.
But their
and
plan A
flexible
would be
in game.
better with Kane. He's
I
bought,
mean,
yeah.
I
he's-
I feel like you need different wingers with Kane.
Yeah.
You need different wingers.
probably.
What I would
More
say
direct
is
wingers,
Kane is a more clinical finisher, in my opinion. And that might be controversial, but I
No,
think
he is.
based on the amount of chances that he gets and Haaland gets, especially over the last few weeks, I've seen Haaland have a lot of chances. Even look at the game against Arsenal. I look at the game against Real Madrid and he was missing chances in those games. I think if you give Kane the same amount of chances as Haaland, he probably takes
does
more.
Haaland-
But
But does
Kane and
Haaland
Haaland would
get-
have the same chance?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
there
I
it
mean,
is.
this is what I'm saying is you weigh it up, but I think they'd both be successful at City. Most good strikers would be.
Yeah.
Get
Well, apart from Jesus.
he's not a good striker. Is he?
I just wanted to hear you say it.
I love it.
He's not a good striker, is he?
That's the young player of the season, but you can't say Haaland.
Okay, cool. I'll probably actually go for the sidekick.
He's an agenda,
what's the-
bro.
what's the-
He's an agenda.
What's the age
I love
limit?
it.
What's the age limit?
It's the same for when it 21 can't be you can't be 22 like what before the start of the season.
I think it's okay. So time, man. Make your statements.
Okay. All right, everyone done? Yeah,
Fair play. Yeah.
you done? Quickly, man. Then
I'm trying to think of someone else though.
we're nearly coming to the half-hour mark.
Canada, we give it to him, but fair play.
Okay.
Actually.
Oh.
No, go.
Well, you got to show your board too because we want to talk about the most interesting answer. All right.
I'm in chill still.
Let's go. We got 3 Nellies.
Oh man.
Serious.
We're about to have a big discourse here.
All right, cool. Let's. All right, let's start with Lesh. Yeah, let's start with Lesh. All right, tell us why you think it's Bukayo Saka.
Bukayo Saka's had a formidable season this year.
You don't even believe that.
I do. Goals, assists, big performances. That goal against Man United stands out quite a lot. I think a lot of the goals that he's actually scored this season have been like to either like get us to like equalise or put us in the lead. So he's turned up in big occasions.
Has he?
Yeah, he turned up in big occasions prior to this running.
Which is the biggest occasion of all.
Guys, let him cook. Let him cook. Let
not cooking, bro.
Let's start again.
Him just like cook.
Guys, let him cook on his low heat.
You need your clip.
Let him
Continue.
Start again.
Guys.
Yeah, man.
Jalen, you have your chance.
No, but I'm telling you, because if you want the clip, he has to do it properly.
Yeah, let's go on.
So why did you interrupt me then?
Go.
Anyway,
go on,
Bukayo Saka has had a formidable season for Arsenal. He's got goals, he's got assists. Coming into this season, so a lot of people here were saying, "Oh, I need Saka to hit X amount of goals, Y amount of assists," and he's accomplished that target this season. He's had big performances. The one that particularly stands out is against Man United, where he's had the long shot and whatnot.
Cold game.
A lot of the goals he's got this season, as I was saying before, have been like to get us to equalise or put us in the lead, and so forth. And I think one problem that a lot of football viewers, when judging Saka, are having this season is people rated Saka before he's like had the GA, but now it's like because he's got the GA, you're just trying to like only judge him on like GA and stuff like that. When you rated him before when he didn't have it, so like I don't know, I don't particularly understand the argument, but not to take away from Saka, like he's had a great.
You've got a good level.
He's been our guy, and yeah.
All right.
Well done, Bukayo, man.
Okay. All right. Jalen, I saw you shaking your head throughout a bit of that, and you specifically sort of came in when Lesh said that Saka has turned up for Arsenal in the big occasion. So tell me why you went for Nelly rather than Saka.
Because I don't think he has.
Oh,
I don't think he has. I mean,
talk to me.
Even if we look at the bigger games early in the season, cool. Nelly might have had a goal that was ruled out for offside. I think he was better in that game than Bukayo Saka.
Liverpool.
The Old Trafford game.
Yeah.
He scored at Anfield away from home. Like he scored in big games this season. Yeah, Saka had that performance against Man United at home. But I'm looking at the business end of the season. Which of my wingers gave me more? And that was Martinelli. Yes, he had a period during the season in January where he might have struggled. He came through that, but obviously number one, there was a lot of pressure on him at the time because we were looking at Mudryk and we were looking at left wingers. People were talking. Yes, the pressure came in. Wait, why are you stopping?
Go on.
Bro, there was pressure on him. Number one, number two. Tactically, Eddie Nketiah did not help him out. That's the reality. The dynamic of the team changed. As soon as that changed, he was the guy that was driving us in the business end. Where was Bukayo Saka?
Did Nelly do the job?
It doesn't matter whether he done the job. He didn't do the job because your guy didn't turn up. That's the reality, bro.
For this whole season, who's had a better season, Saka or Martinelli?
In my opinion, Martinelli has.
Because
he's been more consistent over the season. That's my point.
You're going towards Nelly is because he was better during this running. But in the period where he was better,
do you know why? Do you know why though? Do you know why?
Because if not for him, I don't even know where you'd be.
And that's my point. Players are judged, in my opinion, they should be judged more, or it should be weighted more at the end of the season because that's when the pressure is. Like you need your best players to turn up during that part of the season. 2 seasons in a row now, Saka has it. Why is he doing it for the first 2/3 of the season?
We don't even get to the end. We are without Saka, man.
What do you mean we don't get to? Well, we don't. If Nelly doesn't score his goals, we don't get there either.
If we had 2 Martinellis on the wing from the beginning of the season, we'd be fifth.
If we had 2 Bukayo Sakas, it would be the same thing.
If you had 2 Sakas, it would be the same thing. You need the balance. You need the balance.
Listen. They've both been fantastic. I think personally, if you're weighing up both of them right now, I think the last 10 games.
So do your recency bias. Go on. Then,
it's not recency bias though. It's not recency bias because, as I said, I weight the end of the season and the running more
it's recency bias.
But I weight that more. The end of the season. The end of the season to me is more important.
You should weight that more.
Guys, let me just ask. So, Les, you don't feel like the running, the crunch part of the season should have more of a weighting than the rest of the season?
The whole team capitulated at the end of the day, yeah. And
okay, but then the best player in the side, should he not turn up?
He should have, and he didn't. But
why can one of them turn up more and the other one can't?
Turned up is it's a bit silly to me because at the end of the day, Like we played Liverpool, we played Southampton, we played West Ham. He didn't do too much in those key games.
What did Saka do against West Ham?
Anfield, he was our best player. Southampton, he was our best player.
Huh?
What did he do at West Ham?
He scored against Southampton.
But if you miss, hold on,
just naming another game.
Hold on a second. If we go through those 3 games, Anfield, he scored, and he had a better game than Saka. Saka was all right at best in that game. That's the first one.
Agreed. Yeah.
West Ham, Saka misses a crucial penalty and had a stinker that game at that day. Yes, Martinelli didn't have the best game, but 100% wasn't a stinker. It was just an average performance. Southampton, again, everyone was saying, Saka, Martinelli turned up. I still personally believe Martinelli had a better game than Saka that time.
He did.
So that's 3 games. That's 3 games.
Saka was good.
Saka was alright. Yeah, he was cool. But since then,
are we also going to forget that Martinelli missed the penalty in the Europa League, which sent us out as well?
okay.
What? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to get
It's getting nasty.
What is
You're
that?
talking about missing penalties and in key moments and shifting our momentum in a season, bro.
How did that shift? How did that shift the momentum?
During that month, didn't we then go and also we played Brentford and we played Everton as well, and we dropped points as well.
We played Brentford after we got knocked out. Check that. That's not true.
It's true.
No, it's not.
I'm not sure you did.
That's not true. That was before.
That was before.
Let's check.
Wait, my chat to
And you know what I will say is no, don't get it twisted. I don't want to be doing civil war because, as I said, they've both been fantastic for the age that they are.
Yeah.
I think they've had the most combined GA since what I think not Tevez, Ronaldo and Rooney, innit? Under 21s, like that's the most combined. And for both of them to touch the goals and the assists that they have, I think it's fantastic. I would have hoped that the more experienced players would have, helped them a bit more. But unfortunately, those two are they're 2 of the go-to guys in this team. That's just where they find themselves. So they're going to be judged on that. Yeah. Unfortunately, whether it's unfair or not, it doesn't matter.
We don't need to talk more about Arsenal's capitulation. We all know it's evident. But I think that was a good debate, man. To kind of finish off. Obviously, we're coming towards the end of the season. Has anyone got any rondos or not? Oh, that bell come in loud now. Anyone got any rondos or not about the season in general or internationally? Obviously, we've got, we've had some Champions League football come in as well. Anyone got anything to say? Otherwise, we're just going to talk about reflections of your team over the season.
I want to say Ivan Toney's punishment is too harsh.
Oh, okay.
Is that rondo worthy?
How many breaches did he have again? What was it? 262. Oh, I think it might be. I think it might just be.
But you agreed with that the other day. You said it was too harsh.
Bro,
Yeah,
and
but
the pod is like...
Why are you lying now?
This is the point.
The other day, this guy said, "You are arguing with me." I said,
I agree as well. I agree with him, but I still think it's a hot opinion, no?
"Okay, all right,
Oh, man.
That's a bit.
You didn't bring the business.
I did bring it.
interesting."
It's a hot opinion. He's got a lot of
I'm
breaches.
tired, man.
Just yawning. That's just in someone's ear like, on a Tuesday morning. All right, talk to me, bro. Okay, so let's set the scene a bit. So Ivan Toney, I think he had 262 violations or breaches.
Yes, but he said he didn't do 30 of them. So they didn't charge him for those. So now he's only got 232.
Oh, 232.
Oh, wow.
So just a couple. So he's got 230 kind of betting breaches that he's admitted to.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, football players are not meant to gamble on games. And he did it 232 times. So it's quite a lot of times. So why would you say that he shouldn't be banned for 8 months?
So he should be banned, yes, I agree. But I feel like the length of time and the restrictions placed on his banning are too harsh. What I'm going to address first is in comparison to other bans we've seen in football history. And then secondly, just the fact that 8 months without being able to train is ridiculous.
No, I think you can train from September, no?
Yeah, that's 4 months. That's basically 4 months without.
Yeah, 4 months, yeah.
Anyway, so firstly, what he actually did itself, yes, he bet 232 times on 232 occasions, but it wasn't with games that he was involved in, so it can't directly be linked to match fixing. Yes, because if you're not involved in the games, then you
can't directly be, but obviously if he's got friends that are playing, I think that's
then they're match fixing. He's not match fixing, is he?
Well, I'm not sure it quite works like that.
But if you compare it to other things we've seen in the past, for example, Trippier told someone to bet on his transfer where he knew he was leaving. Like, this is betting on a sure thing.
Yeah, that's worse. But that's
and he only got, I think, about less than 4 months. I think 6 weeks.
6 weeks. I think
A 6 week ban. And now, so let's compare a 6 week ban for something that was foolproof to an 8 month ban for something that doesn't even involve him himself. That's I don't know.
I'll ask you the question. Obviously, it's one violation in comparison to 230. So obviously, but it's like he's done one thing which is worse.
Okay, cool. But
obviously, he's done something which is not as bad, but 232 times, isn't it?
As I said before, with Trippier, it's fixed.
Yes,
the outcome is fixed.
Yeah, that's fixed.
Like, we don't know. Toney could have just gone to the betting shop and just place bets on games.
Yeah,
like,
but
that could be the case.
Apparently, that's what a lot of them were. Yeah.
So, as I said, I think he should be banned. I'm saying the length of time is ridiculous.
So what do you think is suitable?
If we compare it to the likes of, he got 8 months, yeah. Eric Cantona fly kicked someone, a fan, on the pitch and got a 9 month ban.
You can't always do
That's crazy.
I don't think you can. Me personally, I don't think you can always do the comparison thing, especially when it comes to something like this, because at the end of the day, players are supposed to know their responsibilities as a footballer.
And you're meant to kick fans.
They're supposed to know. No, but forget that. Just put that to the side. Let's look at this in isolation, though. Look at it in isolation. 230 times he's saying he committed the offence. So if he only done it, let's say he only done it 10 times now, what would the punishment be for that?
Fine.
A fine. That's it. So basically you're saying that players can bet and just get a fine.
Okay.
And not a ban. Like, realistically, if you do something 230 times and it goes against the rules, like, come on, man.
If someone's bet, and you know what bets they place, all the earnings on that bet, you find them double. Now they've lost out on the bet.
Nah, man. I don't think I think this is, to be honest, 8 months to me. 8 months to me, I think if you're including the training, I think it's harsh. If you're including the amount of time, he's being made an example out of it. Is what it is. I don't think he can complain.
And even the likes of Luis Suarez, like, on both of his violations, I think one was 10 games.
One was a 10-match ban for calling Evra a Negro.
For racism,
yeah.
And then for biting someone.
Yeah, but then,
bro, for biting someone.
But the thing is, though,
4 months.
But rather than saying,
let's be real here.
But rather than saying Toney should get less time, in my opinion, it should more be that them man get more time. Do you get what I'm saying? That's where they need to rectify. That's why I'm saying if you look at this in isolation, I don't think it's wrong. It's just obviously the other man. Theirs are more wrong than this particular situation.
8 months is a long time.
I think it's harsh. But I do think it's harsh. I feel like 6 months.
It's 230 charges.
No, I see that. It's a lot of charges.
Man, I'm not taking it in.
No, that's why it's hard, and that's why even I had to give Marcus a little bit of grilling for the opinion, even though I do sympathise with him. But I think it should have been about 6 months. I feel like Marcus is also a bit biased because he wants
facts.
Tony at he wants Tony at Chelsea. So all right, Lesh, you got a Rondo or not? Say nothing. All right, what is the opinion?
The worst manager in the top, who's gonna finish in the top half of the Premier League this season.
Okay.
Jurgen Klopp.
All right, go on then.
I think Jurgen Klopp has had the worst season.
Have a bit.
Okay.
All top 10 managers.
Yeah. All top 10 managers.
Let me think about that.
It's not a mad opinion when you think about it.
Are the managers who have finished in the top 10 or are managers who should be in the top 10?
Who's going to finish in the top 10?
Okay.
So
that's a bit of a weird way to judge things. But
not really.
It is kind of.
Yeah. So you've got Guardiola, you've got Pep, you've got Eddie Howe. Like
I'll probably do the top 6 managers. You'd probably talk about the top 6 managers, not the managers that finished in the top 10, because there's managers that overachieved in the top 10.
Fair enough. So yeah, you've got Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Man United, Liverpool, Brighton, Aston Villa, Tottenham, Brentford,
Tottenham.
Huh?
Tottenham.
They haven't got a manager.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
they
don't count.
Don't count, but they had Conte.
But have they got a manager now?
Yeah, they sacked him. That's how bad he was.
Yeah.
You got just
in terms of who's finishing this season, I think it's Jurgen Klopp.
All right, the criteria keeps on getting more and more detail. Go on,
Jurgen Klopp,
bro. Yeah,
he spent 80 million pounds on a striker.
Yeah,
hasn't really been able to fit him into the system this year.
Yeah.
He's got a world class centre back,
system he copied,
who he hasn't managed to really get back to his former self and get going again.
Yeah,
he's had the issue with Trent Alexander-Arnold, which I think
he's fixed.
We all could see that he needed to do this inverted role from quite a while ago, and he didn't implement it until the final games of the season.
Can I comment on that as well?
Yeah, you can do.
I think even with that implementation, he still flopped it. Whoever you man played yesterday, they was exploiting that right hand the whole game.
And so did we.
So even though you
didn't get much out of it though, did you? So go on now.
What do you mean we got the same as the team yesterday? I don't get it.
Yeah, but you wanted more than that. You've been a title challenging team this season. You needed to win that game.
We did
you were
get some.
2-0 up and
I mean,
you threw it away.
if you won that game,
so it's not really all that. No, I feel like going into that game,
hey.
Unlucky,
definitely
darling.
underdog, and you guys flopped it.
Unlucky, mate.
And that's why you guys don't have a league.
Whoa.
But anyway, I think Jurgen Klopp's like performed the worst out of all of them, considering like the resources that he has available and the quality that's in that Liverpool team as well. I think as a top class manager, like and having those resources available, the likes of like even Fabinho, having like what he's done with Firmino this season as well, and kind of like just discarded him and
he was leaving.
And not really like utilized him enough this season. I don't think has been good enough. And then like overall, just like ending up probably finishing in the Europa League positions for Liverpool when they're meant to be kind of like in their like glory period. It's just a howl. I think it's a howl of Jurgen Klopp.
And
I feel like there was some. All right,
I was gonna say if you look at
chime in as well. Go on.
Yeah, because I think the natural reason, or basically a lot of the blame for why this season has gone wrong, I think Liverpool fans have basically put on FSG, which I feel like is unfair personally, because I look at Klopp and I look at some of the decision making that he's made with his transfers.
Yeah, we
go back to last summer where it was very, very clear that Liverpool needed a new midfield.
Yep.
He decided to spend £85 million on Darwin Núñez, who, to be honest, wasn't. I don't think that was a priority position that Liverpool really needed, and I think Klopp knew that was a lot of his budget, and still decided to, approve that move, and ended up getting a striker in Gakpo for probably like half the price that made more sense for him anyway in the end, and still didn't get a midfielder. James Milner came out and said that Klopp wanted to retain him. So it's not just FSG, is it? It's also Klopp making very, very poor decisions. And that just adds to, the kind of the flaws in his tactical awareness.
I also want to chime in on that. I remember how Jalen talked about Pep and how Pep used to be a manager who used to rely on his plan A and didn't have a plan B. Like Klopp he just knows his plan A. And he doesn't know how to manage other systems. He doesn't know how to cope with other systems. When his plan A doesn't work, Liverpool just collapsed. It's happened for twice now.
Doesn't know how to manage a game. Can't
He can't change in games. Yeah, he's he's a principled man, but he doesn't have his tactical variety is
just
very
relies
limited.
His
on the
tactical
energy
variety is quite rigid, but I think when he gets his plan A, it's hard.
I agree.
So I think so Jalen and Lesh there, I think there were some good points there. I feel like there was a lot of waffle and rubbish as well. So I'll just kind of comment on some of that. I think when you talk about Liverpool fans, I feel like it's sections, right? I feel like there are some sections that are just completely like, it's completely all on FSG, but I think there's a lot that have been frustrated with Klopp this season. I think the points on the tactical rigidness of him sometimes is valid. I think it took too long to implement Trent, and I do think he made some howlers in the summer in terms of not getting a midfielder. I feel he was promised Bellingham this summer, so I think he said, I'm going to just wait because I want that signing, and he knows that obviously that's kind of all of his midfield budget.
It's an excuse.
Remember,
I don't know if... Wait.
At the beginning of the window, he said, I don't need a midfielder.
Let me land. He's the type of manager, it was obvious they wanted Bellingham. He's the type of manager, he will always back his players.
It's an excuse.
I don't think it was even right to go for Bellingham, knowing that just to spend your whole... Because I feel like we always needed a couple of midfielders. So I think it was even wrong to do that. But I still feel like these last few games, it's definitely been encouraging, and I think he can get this window right if he's given enough money. And I feel like Liverpool can definitely challenge next season if we get him.
You see what the problem is?
About 150 mil, I think you should get that. So I feel like, hey, young man, hey, young man, JG, don't respect. No, don't be whispering when I'm talking.
You think? Obviously, Pep plans to get midfielders in for next season. Klopp. Yeah. Plans to get midfielders in for next season. Do you think Klopp is going to revert back to his old system, or is going to continue with this inverted right back?
I think he'll do a bit of both. I like the inverted stuff, so I think he'll do a bit of both. If he goes for the inverted stuff, I don't mind it either. Nothing wrong with...
Such an on the fence answer.
No, there's nothing
but even
wrong.
now, let me ask you something. Yeah. Even like... your right back options now is pretty much just Trent.
Yeah.
You guys have needed backup or competition for him for how long now? Is that something that he's gonna deal with in the summer? It doesn't seem like there's any. I
haven't seen any links. We'll have to see.
And that's another that's what I'm saying. It's all this thing about being reactive. Be proactive, fam. You can see that.
But I don't think he's always given the resources to do so.
You always saying City spend more money than you are. City this, City that. Financial doping. They make smart decisions.
They make money, but they spend far more money than us.
You guys can still do that.
We don't spend as much money as
when you built the original team. You were buying guys like Andy Robertson for £7 million
over the past since 2019. I think we're like 13th over
your
this
bag
season.
Was getting players.
I think we're 13th over this season. Yeah,
that was your strategy and building a team based on that. I think we're going to revert more back to that. We still don't spend loads on players. Nunes is an anomaly. When we really need a position, we want to upgrade on it. We kind of go. Are you going to sign a right back?
We got to be a bit. I hope we do. But again,
and if he
doesn't, we don't always get enough finances to do so.
No, don't say finances. This is what I'm saying.
I will
you can't say finances because there's players out there to fill these gaps. Like if you don't sign a right back,
how much money?
If you don't sign a right back. If you don't sign a right back, you can't tell me.
It kind of depends. You need the right.
You can get Tino from Southampton. He's just getting relegated,
bro. Yeah. No, but I feel like the right opportunity needs to come up.
No, stop saying the right opportunity. You can't say that you're not going to get right back because of finances. Man City went out there and found a centre half. Akanji was 15 mil.
We need to get 2 midfielders.
Kiwior for us, still a decent player. Was what
we need to get 2 midfielders. I hope we'll also get a right back, but I do feel like we have to be very selective with how we go.
And if Trent gets injured next season, then what happens?
League check, bro.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I still feel like next season we're gonna be something special. I feel like we're gonna be a surprise, and I feel like we'll definitely be better than you. I think you man are kind of going like this, and us man are kind of going there.
We'll get on to that in another episode. But the main thing, I just want to ask you, this last point. Next season, if Klopp is planning for this whole inverted fullback system with Trent now, and he does get injured, what happens?
If Trent gets injured,
what happens?
I'm sure we'll have another right back to play. We'll have a plan B. We won't play Gomez. And even if we play Gomez, we'll just play
you're recruiting players right now for that system, but you have no backup.
What do you mean? How do you know we haven't got a backup? How do you know he can't do the backup? How can he do his original system? If we get new midfielders,
right back.
Probably Gomez as it stands.
That's not a good option. That's being proven that he's not a good player.
He can do all right there.
What?
Yes, he can.
You see, this is the problem.
You're just talking before things have happened.
This is what I'm talking about.
You're just talking again. Before things. I guarantee you, we'll play with Joe Gomez next season and we'll be better than you, bro.
Say that again.
We'll play with Joe Gomez next season and we'll be better than you. Yeah. We booked you with Joe Gomez on the pitch.
Oh my goodness.
I'm absolutely sure of it.
And that's Joe Gomez instead of Trent, by the way. That's what you said.
Yeah, if he's playing right back, we can still.
So Trent is out of the team. Joe Gomez is starting right back for them.
He's saying that Liverpool will be better than Arsenal. A couple of midfielders, it will be light.
Oh,
anyway, as of time, I have to watch Jay and Lesh a little bit more another time. No, I'm like, but thank you all for listening in. Keep it quiet, because yours was very shaky. Man in City game. Man in City game.
He is a striker and ended up at centre back.
Dion Dublin.
Thank you for coming to the Rondo.
Completion though.